If you work at a business with an IT department, a help desk, a service desk, or maybe you're a student at a college or a university, maybe you're at a company that you don't have an IT department, but you have that 1 or 2 person IT department that you call when something goes wrong. Call up IT George and he comes running when you have something that needs fixed. You're likely familiar with dealing with IT in one way or another. I have taught, coached, managed, mentored, and helped people understand how to deal with customers for many years in an IT environment, in the help desk environment. But another thing I like to do is to teach you, customers and users, how to best interact with your IT department and what you can do to not drive your IT people crazy. It's really easy to get frustrated when you enter into a conversation with IT on the phone and they start asking you a bunch of questions right up front. You just want to tell them what's wrong, get off the phone. But understand that we have to ask these questions. Sometimes, by law, we have to ask these questions, and sometimes it's because this is the directive that's handed down. As a manager, I have had to tell my employees before hey, can you call that person back? Why? Because you didn't get their name. That's why we ask these questions up front. It's easier for people to remember a script and kind of a logical sequence of what to ask things. That's why we provide that to our agents, and that's why our agent has to ask those questions. They need to make sure that they know who they're talking to. You might think you have a very unique name, or you might work at an organization and know that you're the only person at that organization with that name. But we have a ticketing system with a bunch of people's names in it. Maybe they're current employees, maybe they're not. Maybe we also have contractors in there. Maybe we have people who aren't directly in your company. Maybe we have people who, with the exact same name, maybe a different spelling, and you've never seen them because they're outside of the organization on the periphery. Maybe they don't even have an email at your company, so you can't search them in your directory. So yes, when you call, I'm going to confirm that I know who I'm talking to. Maybe I don't know who you are because I've never talked to you before. This is why we have to ask. We need to know who we're talking to. Can I have your name, please? And your email address and a good callback number for you in case we get disconnected. Okay, is this a new or existing issue? That's a question that comes up a lot because we want to know if you're calling about an issue that you've already had or if this is a new thing. And the reason we ask that is because if it's an existing issue, we might treat it a little differently. We might expedite it. But really, we need to update that ticket that's already out there so we're not entering a new ticket. If you call in, and I have had customers do this, call in every single time, they get this person, that person enters a ticket. They get this person, that person enters a ticket. They get this person, that person enters a ticket. Pretty soon, they have 7 tickets out there for the same issue. And this customer told me the reason I do that is because the more tickets I get in, the faster help I will get. That is 100% inaccurate. The more tickets you have in, the slower help you will get. Because now 5 of my people are spending time going in 5 different directions to work on your issue. All of them could have been working together on your single issue, but because you called in 5 different times and said you didn't have an existing issue, I now have 5 people working on the issue, where if it would have just been one, that person would have taken it to the person who was best and they would have had a solution for you faster. You're wasting our time by calling in and giving multiple tickets or multiple things for the exact same issue. We want to make sure that every issue is captured accurately. This is why we have to ask these questions. I want my agents to be able to put into a ticket all the information about you. Your name, callback number, and email is very important because we don't want to accidentally give your information to someone else. And if they got the wrong name, maybe they heard it a little wrong, and then they ask for your email address and they write that down, the email address is probably going to be a little more accurate. We confirm this so we don't accidentally hand someone else's information to someone else. We're confirming your information just like we're confirming everyone else's information. We confirm your information so you know that we're not accidentally giving information about you to another user. Why are you asking me this question? I told you I have a problem with my computer. The reason we're asking these questions is because we need to understand the problem you're having. Sometimes we aren't the ones who are actually going to be fixing your issue. Sometimes we are just the triage unit. We need to take down all this information so we can put it in a nice, written, communicative fashion and hand it off to the person who can take care of it, but we are interpreting what you're saying. Good IT people Good tier 1 people, so those help desks that you talk to through a chat support or a phone support, we are your ally. We are your confidant. We are the people who are trying to understand what is happening with your technology so we can either fix it if we have the access to do so, or so we can take all the information and communicate it adequately to this person who can fix it. We are communicating why it's important to you, why it's urgent for you, why you need it, and then we fight for you. We are literally fighting for you every single day. That's our job. We take this information to them, and if they say, well, what's this? And they have more questions that we didn't gather on that initial phone call, it's going to slow down the process because they won't work on it. Sometimes they're not going to work on it until we have gathered all the issues, all the information. We need to gather all that information on the call. You're frustrated with your technology? Guess what? We are too. We are here to help. We are frustrated for you. We empathize with you, and we are on your side. We experience the same issues with technology that you do. Believe it or not, most of the time the technology things I experience are probably worse than the worst thing you've ever experienced. I just know how to work through them a little differently because I have a lot of time invested. So understand that we have to ask these questions and don't skip them. If you have an outage and you're reporting an outage and you know it's an outage, we still need this information because we need to know who reported the outage. I have had people call in, report an outage, and I've had my agents put in a ticket or send an email, hey, there's an outage, we need to take care of this. Guys, there's no outage. Who called and reported this? Well, I thought it was this person. You didn't get their name? Turns out there was an outage, but not in the area that they thought because the customer on the phone said the wrong building. There was an outage at a different building, and it took us twice as long to figure out where that outage actually was, because I had to go and basically start calling people and figure out what was happening based on a name that I think it might have been, because my agent heard the wrong building number and didn't confirm where this person was. We thought the outage was over there, but it was actually over there. We would have found that out had my agent just done their due diligence and confirmed the person they were talking to versus just taking the building they said, because the customer did say the wrong building and the customer blamed us for that. You guys took too long to solve this out. That's information that we should have gathered on the phone. That was my agent's fault, and I was the one who took the fall for that because my agent didn't collect the information that they should have on the phone. We have to ask these questions to gather information. We have to ask these questions about your computer and what you're seeing because we are the ones who have to explain it for you. If you're telling me it's broken, I can't send a ticket to someone saying it's broken. That person is going to look at that ticket and say, I'm not going to work on this, but you sent me a dumb ticket. You didn't say anything. I need to communicate to them what you're saying in a way where I can get them to understand how important it is to you. Not only can I prioritize it, but they can prioritize it. If it's a very, very important issue and I come in and say it's very important things are broken, what things are broken? I don't know where to even get started on this. But if I come to them and I say, this is very important, they are having trouble with their computer, they're getting a blue screen message that pops up all the time, it's constantly re-looping, it sounds like they might have an issue with their network card, we need to get that looked at. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at their computer, which you've already put in the ticket because you told me what computer it is, so I'm going to get an extra network card for that because you said that you think that might be the problem, so I'm going to get an extra network card for that. I'm also going to give them a call. I'll see if we can go out there and get the computer. I'll get another computer up and running just in case it's something that we're not able to fix, and then we'll go out and we'll see if we can just swap this network card out and get their computer working. If that doesn't work, then we'll have another computer ready to go. That's why we get the information from you, is so we can provide enough context to the people who are actually going to be working on it. We have to ask these questions to get you the help you need. If I didn't ask all those questions on the phone, that person is not going to be as fast. That person is going to either call you and ask you all the same questions that we should have asked, or that person's going to ask us and we're going to call you back and ask all the questions again, which is a waste of your time. You just called us. I should never have to call you back. My agent should never have to call you back to confirm things like your name and your email and your problem. That's something we should never have to call back and ask for. We have a ton of time on the phone to gather that up front. If every call is going to last an average of 5 to 15 minutes, that is more than enough time to gather your name, your email, your callback number, and a brief description of your issue that we can take and either start working on your issue so we can call you back with more info, or we can take, write it all out, and pass it off to someone who can fix it for you. We have to ask these questions. We're not asking these questions because we're trying to slow you down. We're asking these questions because we're trying to get faster and more efficient help for you. So please, be nice to your IT guy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it informative. Throw a like down below. And if you have other people you know, maybe at your company, who deal with IT, who you think might also benefit from this video, please hit that share button and share it with your colleagues. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.